Not everyone saw Trump winning the election. Some people even laughed at the notion. A YouTube channel called NFS Entertainment put together a little montage.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Is that people think that Donald Trump is a clown.
Yeah, Donald Trump is a clown. I mean, does anybody seriously think that Donald Trump is serious about running for president?
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. At real Donald Trump. At least I will go down as a president.
So basically, this is the beginning of the end for Trump.
The beginning of the end. This is probably starting of the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. So right now we have Hillary's about a 75 or an 80% favorite. We have different versions of the forecast you can look at.
Poll has Hillary Clinton up by double digits nationally, 12 points, 50 to 38 in full-way race.
Clinton leading in Florida, Clinton leading in North Carolina, Clinton leading in Ohio, Clinton leading in Nevada.
You were totally right about Nevada. Nailed it. But everyone was wrong about everything else except Ann Coulter. You got to hand it to Ann, right? Did you hear that laughter?
Yes.
I saw that episode when it happened. And looking back, you can't believe that laughter. There's a sense of merriment in their laughter, but I laugh at them now.
God love them, man. God love them. Because every game was an away game. This is like a team having to go on the road every game in the NFL season and they win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Kellyanne Conway got called delusional on The View for thinking he was going to win. But I said right here on this show to you 2 weeks ago, he was a genius bet because of one adage. Just throw out presidential politics. In gambling, the house always wins. If 92% of the betting public is on one side of a football game, it doesn't cover the spread.
So wait a minute, you were a genius for realizing that the odds were against him?
No, on this show 2 weeks ago, we were talking about, people and who they were betting in the election and what the odds were. Yeah. And I knew he was going to win. I just knew he was going to win. There was too much money to be made on the other side.
I was going to bring my football and spike it tonight, since I've been saying this for a lot longer than 2 weeks ago, but I refrained because I thought it would really bounce and hurt the beautiful cupware here.
Well, Tony, people have been laughing at you on air.
Yes.
What about off air?
I've enjoyed it.
What about when you're just hanging around in friends and family, things like that? What have people been saying?
Off air, I give people cause to laugh at me. On air, I think I was right only because I actually listen to people, and I don't think the media does. I think they listen to each other, and that's exactly what you saw in this dynamic. The smart group, the elites, all heard each other in their echo chamber. Most of us who spend our time in campaigns, in the field, in these swing states, heard from real people who were suffering. So when you saw Obama drop his telephone as that cell phone, Donald Trump just dropped the mic. This was the political equivalent of dropping the mic on stage because he was the only one of all these guys, including a lot of my favorite Republican candidates, who truly understood the plight of the average, hardworking American who totally felt underserved by Washington, and guess what they did? They took their government back November 8th.
Yeah. Why did Michael Moore understand? Why him?
Because that's where he's from. He's from Flint, Michigan. He's from this part of the country, northern Michigan, eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, central Wisconsin, rather, where people don't care about your political party. They care if you're helping them get a job. And guess what Barack Obama didn't do for 8 years? Really improve their lives in any meaningful way, and they repaid him with this. And the irony of all of it is Barack Obama, for all the blame he put on George W. Bush, suffered the ultimate fate that Bush did, which is after 2 terms of him, they chose something completely different.
Well, that's why we go back and forth, right? But Anthony, some of those clips were from 2 years ago, 18 months ago. Why was it so funny then, when there was no polling or anything? What was so hilarious about the idea of Trump?
Because it was Donald Trump, and it was 2 years ago when he wasn't president-elect. All right? The reality has completely changed. Now, it's like we are through the looking glass, as they say. The things that were unthinkable before are now reality. So now we're like, there's a reckoning, and everybody deserves it. I deserve it. I was one of those people that on this show, when you had a Trump impersonator, definitely had my fun with him about a year and a half ago. But now he's the president-elect. And one thing to your point is that it's not, the Trump phenomenon is less a, holy cow, this guy really tapped into something, as much as Hillary Clinton lost 11 million Obama votes, all right, in the swing states. 11 million people who voted Democrat and 6 million people who voted Democrat 4 years ago just sat home this time.
Yeah.
Trump didn't do any better than Romney or McCain on a national level.
Well, why did they sit home?
They sat home because Hillary Clinton is a terrible candidate and they didn't believe in her.
So not because Donald Trump actually gave them something to believe in.
Take it easy. I'm not saying that. I'm only saying that Donald Trump. The idea that there was a sweeping revolution of Donald Trump is less so in that the country, after 25 years of the Clintons, finally said no mas.
Yes.
That's the bigger story.
That was part of it. That was the icing on the cake.
Well, Trump, it was brilliant. He came out, Katie, in the last month, and he started stressing it's time to close the book on the Clintons. Isn't that what he said? Or it's time to end it. We've had Bushes and Clintons, and he put away Bush pretty quickly, Jeb Bush, right? So what do you think, Katie? What's it all about?
I think this is textbook silent majority speaking, and people finally now being forced to listen. But I actually think the all-stars of this are the Ann Coulters, who are being laughed at, are the Kellyanne Conways, are the Sean Hannitys. I think it's amazing at that time to have stuck it through and just been so opinionated in front of millions of people when at the end they were risking it all.
Do you see Coulter's face? She looked like, I've never seen Ann Coulter look that beleaguered. Like she actually looked like a girl getting picked on in high school. Like she's usually like rock-ribbed, like balls of steel. And that noise of that applause really shook her for a moment, but she was right.
Yeah, she held it.
Add to that mix, Laura Ingraham, hands down. Held it the whole time.
But wait a minute, did Sean really risk that much? His ratings are through the roof.
Well, people vote at the ballot box and at the cable box.
Exactly. All right, now it is time for...